Hey guys, good morning. I am going to Facebook right now. If you're joining me on YouTube, because you're getting the notification, I'll wait till you come in. Good morning. You're going to want to grab a towel today. Let me know who's here. Give me a shout. Say hey. I'll let you know what we need. I'm dialing in Facebook right now as well. And you're going to need a towel, preferably a yoga block if you have one, or a large book. And a ball of some sort, like a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, maybe even a fitness ball if that's what you have. All right, so I'm just getting Facebook dialed in. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can see everything okay. Dialing in live here. And I'm going to fight with my camera as normal. You guys see me okay? I mean, you can't see me. Can you see the workspace? Okay. We're going to do a test here in just a second. Good morning. Going live, setting my camera up, that whole thing. I feel like that camera is wrong. We're good on YouTube though. Good morning. You're going to need a towel and a ball, somewhere around this size, if you would please. A yoga block, if you have it. If not, just grab like a large book or something that can like bring the floor to you. Okay, a large book, a block of some sort, whatever you might have, a wall if it's close by, your bed. Heck, I'm even looking at my cat's little tree stand here. Like it'd be perfect to just put my hands on if I need it. So just be creative. You're obviously not in a studio, so just look around for what you have. Facebook land. You're gonna have to help me straighten this camera out, all right? I hate this. I need a new tripod. Does that look more level, you guys? I feel like I was looking at you all crooked. Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, my woman, Megan. Good morning, everyone else. Hop in, say hi, wave at me. Let me know that you can hear me. I have some music on. Can you hear me as well as the music? That's what I need to know. Today we are going to work on the sacred sacrum. If you have no idea what your sacrum is, you're about to find out. I absolutely love doing sacrum work. So we're going to work on that today. It's going to be really great for your hips. This is a 2-part series, so I'll be doing the other part on Tuesday morning at 8:30. So hopefully you can join in. Good morning, Amy. I love that we get to practice together. So make sure that you can hear me. I also have moved my background a little bit because I've exposed a wall. So what do you need today? And somebody type this in for me, okay? Pretty please. Hi, Lauren. I see you. Who else is out there? Oh, Sarah. I'm going to miss you too, Sarah. Maybe next time. Good morning, Mary. Okay, so today we're about the sacrum. We're going to start in about 4 minutes. I need you to gather some things, please. I need you to grab a towel, and I need you to grab a ball, if you have one, maybe about this size, or if you have like one of those 9-inch fitness balls, something that's easily rollable, that will work. Worst case scenario, and I don't want to say worst case, but usable is a foam roller of any sort. So if you don't have a ball handy, you can also, like a soup can, believe it or not, will work for this. So good morning. Okay, music I'm not worried about as much. If you can't hear it, it's just kind of back there, but YouTube and Facebook, you know, there's copyright laws and stuff, so I don't want it to be like stone silent. I hope it just kind of buffers my kids downstairs making waffles. But it isn't going to be super loud, and that's okay because I don't want to have to yell at you anyway. So good morning, Renee. Happy Saturday. So starting in 2-ish minutes, you need a towel. Go grab your things. Okay, Lauren's typing for us. We need a towel. We need a ball or a soup can or a foam roller if you have it. If you don't have a ball or a soup can handy, block if you have one. You just need one. If you don't have a yoga block, a nice sturdy book will work, or something that you can place on the ground and place your hand on. So maybe you're going to practice close to your dresser today, or your bed, or your nightstand, or whatever. Okay, and if you need that wide open space, obviously you want to be around your furniture, then just pull something to you that you can use to put your hand on at some point. Okay, because we're going to maybe need it, and we're going to need it for our down dog today, because we're going to change up our down dog a little bit to really open the space of our sacrum. So starting in just under 2 minutes, grab your friends. Let's talk about the sacrum a little bit. The sacrum, to me, it looks like a really weird stink bug, but it's a bone, essentially. It's the base of your spine, and it's right here underneath of your gluteal crack. And out of that bone, that weird triangular bone, are nerves, okay, that feed the legs, etc. We've been working through the feet and the legs through the past weeks. If you've been with me at Source Core through the past months. So today we're getting back up to where we left off, actually live in the studio. We were just starting to get into the sacrum work when the world paused. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit today as well. It's actually a beautiful time to practice what we're going to practice today in our flow because of the energetics of this. We're really going to deepen in our roots. We're all home. Yes, thank you, Renee. So we are going to work into that sacrum. This is a 2-part series. We'll do the second part on Tuesday. Okay, so today the sacrum is going to be a very grounded sensation. We are going to be releasing the pelvic floor in many ways. For some of us, that's going to be a new sensation, perhaps even a little uncomfortable or unfamiliar. But just stick with me to the very end. I promise when it's all said and done, you're going to feel marvelous. And Tuesday, we're going to explore the watery, higher aspects of the sacrum as we start to travel up into the solar plexus, and we're going to be very spirally and flowy. So very different components there, that yin and yang of the sacrum, of that strength and stability, but also that mobility and just stirring up that kundalini energy. Make sure also you have a wall somewhere available. Okay, so I've moved my background a little bit so that my wall is available. We're going to need it. And we are going to get started. All right, so you guys go ahead, nestle in, situate your nest here, block towards the front-ish, towel and ball handy. Let's get going. So let's begin at the front of the mat. Beginning here at the front of the mat, take your feet, place them sits bones width apart. Now here again, the sits bones are those bony facets there that you sit on. So if you place your fist down in front of you and Gaze, your big toe should be just outside of that. Now take a deep breath in. Sigh it all away. And then we're going to flare those toes up. Settle them back down. Take another deep breath in. Rise up off of the heels. Exhale, settle the heels to the earth. Flare the toes up like a wave or a fan. Settle them back down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, settle back into the earth with the heels. Fan the toes up. Settle the toes back down. Inhale, rise up. Feel buoyant, feel light. Exhale, settle the heels back down. Last time here. Inhale, flaring the toes up. Settle them back to the earth. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, settle down into the heels. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath into the waist. And relax. Now on your next inhale, lift the hands up overhead for a beautiful stretch. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Good. Now that block is there and handy, and that's fine. And maybe you bend your knees on this first one. Inhale, halfway rise, placing your hands above your knees, lengthening that spine. And then exhale, folding again. Inhale, rise all the way up and bring your hands to heart center. And then again, we lift up on the inhale, exhale, folding. Now as you fold, notice that the heels of the feet are in line with the heels of the sits bones, but that line of energy continues up through your spine to the heels of your skull. Let them all follow the line. Maybe even place your hands there for a moment. Encourage the head to be heavy. Bend the knees if you need to. Now inhale, halfway rise, place those hands. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Going now more through the vinyasa. Inhale, rise up through the hands. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Feel the sits bones spread. The heels of the pelvis. Inhale, rise up. You're going to feel a little retraction of the pelvis. We're going to feel a tightening of the sits bones. And then exhale, fold, spreading the sits bones. Place the hands on the floor nice and wide. Bend into the knees. Take the right foot back. Bring the left foot back to meet it. Bring your knees to the floor. And now bending the elbows tight by your sides. Lower the belly to the floor, chest to the floor. Now pull the mat under you to come up into that little bit of a cobra or sphinx. Maybe you need to be on your forearms, but we're going to move. So I say stay with sphinx. Take those toes under. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, press the hips back over the heels. The toes are tucked under. We're going to take this little bit of the foot stretch here in this vinyasa. On your inhale, come back to hands and knees. Press the legs up into a nice high plank and simply walk in. We're going to get to that down dog, don't you worry. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, stack all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Deep, nourishing breath. Sigh it away. And we're going to go through that again, but add to it. Inhale, rise up through the hands. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Dropping the skull. Bringing those heels of the body in alignment. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, folding, dropping the head. Bring the hands to the earth. This time, step left foot back. Right foot back to meet it. Both knees float to the floor. Bending the elbows, letting them come by your side. Keep the belly tucked in until it touches the floor. Pull the floor back towards you to lift the heart through the frame of the arms. And then exhale, sink back to the earth. Tuck the toes under. Take the hips back. Now you can choose to stay here. Or you walk your hands back towards your knees and come here. Breaking up the vinyasa a little bit. Merging in some of the footwork we've been working on. Take the hands back to your pedestal here. Good. Go ahead and press back to a little mini down dog. Walk your hands and feet together. So feet up to the hands. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Separate the heels and feet again if they made their way in. I know mine did. Put them back under the heels of the sits bones. Inhale, rising up through the hands. Exhale, fold Uttanasana, dropping the head as well. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, bring the hands to the earth. Take the right foot back. Hold that power. Take the left foot back to meet it. Drop the knees down. Start to lower the body to the earth. Inhale, rise up away from the earth. Little back bend. Exhale, tuck the feet back under. Press back. Once again, not quite a child's pose. I want you to feel like you're trying to imprint your tush on the wall behind you. Feel the foot stretch. Come to either the knees. Maybe you stay down there. If that foot is having enough, stay there. Otherwise, coming here to the top. Or perhaps now we take the palms, interlacing the fingers, palms away, palms overhead, fully loading the feet. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, be there. 1 more breath in, 1 more breath out. If your hands are up, bring them to the knees. Everybody with hands at the knees, if you're there, bring them back to the front of the mat. Good. Press those hips back over the heels. This time, lift the knees up off the floor, lengthening the legs, spine down dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now looking at all 10 toes, lift the heels up as you stay in down dog, and then lower the heels lower towards the earth. Lift the heels up, lower them towards the earth. We have 1 more. Lift the heels up, lower them to the earth. Inhale, look at the hands in front of you. Exhale, walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, fold. Feel the heels to the sits bones, to the heels of the head, rounding forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, come hands to heart center. Remain here for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Beautiful. Coming to the hands, charge down by your side, Tadasana. On your next inhale, go ahead and pull the sits bones down into chair. Lift the arms up. If the arms are tender at the shoulders, you can certainly bring your hands to heart center. Our focus is still very much here in the hips, in the sacrum. Now on your next exhale, push the earth away under the feet and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, fold again. Placing the hands wide on the earth. Take the left foot back. Find the power in the leg, holding your body. Push the floor away. Bring the right foot back to meet it. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take your version of chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, okay, or chin, chest. And now we're going to exhale, dissolve to the earth, press the earth away, and come back into down dog. Now have your feet as wide as your sits bones here, and your hands should be as wide as your shoulders. And we're really pressing the earth away, hollowing out the armpits, lengthen the spine, and try to take the tailbone up away from the heels. You might need to bend your knees to facilitate that a little bit better. Now, let's bring the energy and the weight into our left foot. Float the right leg up, working from that glute. Keeping both thighs pulling in towards the pubic bone, keeping the hips square for now. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, empty the belly of the breath, pull the knee up and under, place the foot, walk it in if you need to. Hop your back left foot in slightly. Pivot it down into that 45-degree angle, pressing into the pinky edge. Maybe you need to place your hands on your hips first and gather your balance or your knee, and then lift all the way up to warrior 1. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in. On your next breath out, pivot the back toes around to be parallel with the short end of the mat. Find warrior 2. So here today, really working on the sacrum, and we're going to be doing some very subtle energy work. But to get those smaller muscles to really work with us, we're going to have to work from the outside in. So we do all these bigger movements, these gross muscle patterns to get that suppleness in the hip, that blood flow going, and then we're going to do some very subtle work at the end of our practice today to nourish all of those spots that like to stick. Bring the right arm into the right knee. Just heard my hip pop. That was beautiful. And then take the straight arm up. So extended side angle pose. Now I'm hollowing out my bottom armpit, hollowing out my waist, sinking into the hips, pressing the pubic bone slightly forward, rolling those thighs open. Deep breath in and out. We're going to make a transition here to warrior 3. So I want you to take and pivot, spiral, as if you're reaching for the front end of the room. Now bring your support hand up to meet that. Give a little bend to the back leg, hop it in. Bend even more into that front leg. See if it can take your weight. If you took bar with me yesterday morning, you're going to feel this. Now square up the hips, hugging both inner thighs towards the pubic bone. Keep that back foot light and fluffy. And now reach that foot up. Maybe you need to bring your hands to heart center, or your hands can press back as if you were reaching for that back heel, or perhaps to really connect to your sacrum, you stack your hands and place them on your sacrum. Elbows will be slightly out to the side like a little diamond. Now float that foot down. I know you love those. Hop that back foot in slightly, and then I want you to square up your toes. So I'm standing on a narrow railroad. I'm going to show you this way. So I am connecting the heels of my feet to the heels of my sits bones. I'm in my alignment. All 10 toes facing forward. And notice here I can balance my sacrum and my hips between my 2 feet. So I'm not back over one foot or the other. From here, bring your hands back behind your back. Stack them like so. Right there at the sacrum. So just at the waistband, slightly lower. Let the elbows be soft. On your inhale, I want you to imagine that the hands are applying a gentle pressure to your sacrum. So it's almost as if your tailbone were getting rolled under. You're going to feel stretch through this hip of the back foot. Now continue to gently press into those hands. Open up the heart. Let the elbows wing back. You can keep your chin in neutral for it feels lovely. You can open your chin and breathe. And then on your next exhale, you're going to draw your abdominals up, up, up in to hug your spine, sending your heart forward. Put that chin in neutral, lengthening that spine, and then exhale, fold a little bit more over the front leg, drawing your abdominals up and in. Now here, you can keep your hands just as they are. Perhaps you clasp your hands behind your back and extend your arms out. Whatever feels good. Drop the head so that the heels of the skull match the same rotation as the heels of the foot, heels of the sits bones. Inhale, rise back up, bringing those hands to the sacrum if they're not there already. And now bring the hands to the hips. I want you to bend into your back knee, sending your weight over your back leg. Good. And then straighten that leg. And you can stand nice and tall, just as the beginning of the pyramid pose. Bend the back knee and straighten. Now, as you do that, as you bend the back leg, if you find that this hip is getting a giddy up, right, a little hitch in the giddy up, this waist is getting short and squishy, I want you to trust your sacrum. Square up the hips, bend into the back knee, keep those hands level. Maybe you need to bring your foot in slightly to get a little bit more stretch. That soleus might be really tight, your tibialis anterior, which are the shin muscles, and the deep calf muscle. And we're just going to do this shift. Now, bending into that back knee, press the foot away, bring it to match. Put your sits bones width between your feet here. Inhale, lift the hands up. Overhead, bringing those hands to heart center as you exhale. And hold steady here for another breath in and another breath out. Now we're going to repeat that on the other side. I'm going to flip my end so I can still see you. You can be right where you are. Inhale, send the sits bones down, lift the arms up. Again, if the shoulders feel pinched, please bring your hands to heart center. Focus here on widening the sits bones. Okay, so feel the length of your pelvic floor and the width of your pelvic floor. On your exhale, feel that pelvic floor contract up and in, drawing the sits bones close as you fold over the body. Again, drawing all of the heels of the body into that forward rotation. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, folding again, placing the hands firmly on the earth. Step back with the left foot. Step back with the right foot. Good. From here, take your version of a vinyasa. Maybe it's the full chaturanga. Perhaps you still need the knee. And then you're going to bend the elbows, lead with the chin, scrape the chin across the floor, pull the chest across the floor, plant the belly into the floor, rise up into your cobra. Exhale, sink your body back to the earth, tuck the back toes under, and you're going to push up and away into down dog. Now on this down dog, pedal one leg at a time. How high can the one ankle get as the other ankle gets as low as it can? So really find that yin and yang through the feet, but feel the stability of the pelvis. That the hips aren't swaying side to side. The movement comes from the lower limb. Now place both heels as close to the earth as possible. Send the sit bones up towards the sky, bending the knees if you need to, but just gently, because we're going to put your weight now into your right foot. Send the left foot up into three-legged dog. Both inner thighs hugging in towards the pubic bone. Squeeze, breathe. You got this. One more deep breath in. On your exhale, emptying the belly of the breath, making room for that leg to come through and plant itself towards the front. Hop the back leg in slightly, pivoting down to that 45-degree angle. Rise up into warrior one and climb your leg if you need to. Deep breath in. You made it. Deep breath out. Breathing in again and breathing out. Pivoting that toe of the back leg, finding warrior two. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. Go ahead and stare over that left middle finger. Stare at something while staring at nothing. Does that make sense? Bringing your senses within yourself. Yoking mind and body. On your next breath, out. Hollowing out the left side body to pull your elbow down into that thigh, into the top of that knee. Extend your right arm up and overhead, keeping the shoulders plugged down, always having the option here to shorten the arm if you need it. Breathing in, feel the left hip bone drawing up and in towards the tailbone, and the same for the right sits bone, really opening and exposing the fronts of the thighs. Now a transition here. You're going to twist the torso to send the right arm forward. Bring the left arm to meet it. Feel that big side body stretch. Now, get some buoyancy in your front leg. Bend into the back knee. Get a little springy. Just spring yourself slightly forward so that your front leg, your left leg, can take most of the weight. Make sure your toes are spread. Pivot the hips so the sacrum is once again square. Both inner thighs are hugging the pubic bone. From here, maybe you bring your hands to heart center. And you're going to start to get light on that back foot, sending your heart forward into your thumbs until you can push the earth away under your standing leg, your support leg. Again, both inner thighs pull in to the pubic bone. Stabilize the sacrum. Feel its power. It is a keystone of the spine. Perhaps you reach your arms back. Put that chin in neutral. I tend to always untuck my chin in warrior 3 as well. Like I need to see what's going on. And now flip that foot down. Hop it in slightly. And then find that pyramid stack. So the feet are on that wide railroad or narrow railroad track, lined up with the sits bones. Okay, the sits bones are boss. They're right up in there. So square it up. Find that your hips are equally balanced between both feet. Bring your hands behind your back, stacking, letting your hands rest into the sacrum. The elbows are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. Deep breath in and out. As you breathe in, start to press the hands into the sacrum and down the sacrum, lengthening the front belly, lifting the heart. Maybe you lift the throat. And on your exhale, the abdominals will draw up and in, flexing the spine over the body. Now stay here and give me a little inhale, halfway rise. And then exhale, breathe even deeper to fold the body over the front leg. You can stay here with your hands. Perhaps you clasp your hands together and extend arms overhead. And you breathe. Roll the head under. Remember, the heels of the foot, the heels of the sits bones, and the heels of the head are all rotating up and forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, stand all the way. Bring the hands up. Bring them to the hips. That's where they were. We're going to bend that back knee and then straighten and bend and straighten. Now you'll notice there's one side maybe that has more room for growth. So as you bend and straighten, here again, we're looking for those hands to stay level instead of rocking. So we did our Tahitian dancing yesterday in bar. Today I want you to keep those hips square. You're going to really feel a lot of stability in the sacrum, holding steady, while the lower limbs are getting stretched and pulled, and even up into that front hip. Now, keeping that back leg buoyant, bring it forward. Good. Inhale, rise up into the hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hold steady here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Now we're going to move into tree. And if you need a yoga block for tree, then please grab it. But before you're anywhere near it, just kind of be off to the side. So we're going to do some balance work here for the sacrum. I love tree for this. It builds onto other things. Okay, so if I'm standing on my left foot, for you it could be your right foot if you're mirroring me. And I'm going to just pivot. Now, place your toes, really spread them out like we did at the beginning of class, and come up into that high heel. Like for us ladies, we're standing in a stiletto shoe. And then keeping the hips level and square, just start to rotate out. And as you rotate out, notice that the toes get splayed and stretched. Okay, and continue doing that. And then hold it out to the side and feel how you might want to push your weight into your standing leg. I want you to draw energy up that leg, lift the corners of the kneecaps, lift the quad, feel the arch of the foot. Really solidify into that big toe base and inner rail of the heel. And now float your leg to the calf. Okay, so everyone can be there. And now notice how this knee might want to stay in tight. Imagine that the gluteal family, the muscles of the tush, are drawing from the outside up and into the sacrum. Now, once you've done that, feel those sits bones ignite, but then let any extra gluteal tension go. Because I want you to really feel as if you have a vise on the sides of your hips. And where the leg bones go into the hips, I want you to feel as if you're tightening up from there instead of extra squeezing of the tush. Hands can go to heart center. If it's in your practice to go higher up the thigh, you can do so. Or if you need a little help from a friend, you can pull your yoga block in. Okay, and just be here without any extra tension, because I really want you to focus on this space being open while the hips are getting viced up and in. I'm going to slide. All right, so from there, if you make it to the thigh, foot presses into the thigh, pubic bone slices slightly under, vice the hips. Feel the top of your sacrum, and right under the pants line, pull in. But the actual cheeks of the tush relax. Breathe. Now perhaps if you're already balanced there, if that's easy for you, grow your tree. I want you to stay focused in the hip. Don't add bells and whistles until you find your root. You have to deepen your roots to then grow up that root into that lotus blossom. If growing the tree high is still easy for you, your root is so very strong, perhaps keeping that wide U of the arms, you just bend at the waist. And see if you can get that arm to come close to the thigh. Pull into the arches of the feet. Stay rooted to the corners of the foot. Strong in the vise of the hips. Come back up and through. Bring hands to heart center. Release the foot wherever it is. Pedal out the legs. Pedal out the legs. We're going to do that on the other side. So set it up. First, everyone joins me on your feet. Feet are beneath the sits bones, not as wide as your outside hips, but your sits bones. Come into the pivot of your foot. And now keeping your toes spread and stretched out there, up into that high heel. I'm just going to open and close the leg here. Feel that the hips stay squared and centered. I'm not changing the gaze of my hips. And you're going to feel that foot stretch and get pliable. That's the idea. And now, staying out wide, pivot even more. You're going to have to lift your toes for that one and bring your arch to your calf. Now here, you might want to lean and get sassy in your standing hip. Pull in the vices of the hips. Lengthen, grow taller. Check in with your cheeks. And I don't mean your face. See if you can relax the cheeks while drawing in the hips. So it's a different gluteal engagement happening there. Not a clench of the maximus, but we're really pulling into the medius, into the piriformis, and other delicious little, like the obturators are in there, holding those sits bones steady. If it's in your practice, pull this leg up into your thigh, the foot to the thigh, or you can use your block. Plant it, and then steady it. Find the root of your foot, lengthen up the leg, lifting that kneecap gently, as much as necessary, as little as possible. Keep the hips square. Pubic bone gently draws under. Feel the thighs spread. Feel the blood flow. The hands can be heart center. And if this is your practice, beautiful. If it's steady for you, take it up into the arms. If that's steady for you, staying strongly rooted to the bottom of the body, perhaps keeping that wide U of the frame around the head, you can float your body down. Whoops. And I'm watching myself move. The idea here is to watch something unmoving, so don't even look at me. Clearly, I'm going to lead you astray on this side. This pulled hamstring of 3 years ago still requires a little gentle extra love and care from me on this side. And then come back up through to center. Pull it in nice and tight with those hands. Float the foot to the floor. Now, we're going to transition to the floor. And this is where it's going to get a little fun. Make sure you can still see me. Give me a shout. Let me know if I've disappeared in your frame, especially on Facebook. I know YouTube, you can see me just fine because we're like face to face. But now here's where I want you to pull in some of the toys. So have them close. We are first, because we've gotten all those muscles warm. You should feel nice and warm in your legs. We're now going to juice the pear a little bit. The pear being the piriformis, which is this tricky little muscle that's actually wider at the outside and gets more narrow as it attaches to the sacrum, hence the pear shape. And it tends to be a little cranky around our sciatic nerve. So many of you probably have a very dedicated relationship with your piriformis and not even knowing that it's your piriformis. So crossing the legs, but I want you to focus on your ankles. So the angle of the ankle is under the knee, and then this one as well, under the knee. And from here, I want you to take a deep breath in and sit up tall. And then on your exhale, we really need to pull those abdominals. Again, it's not a Pillsbury Doughboy, somebody's getting ready to poke you or punch you. It's a hugging of the spine so that the sacrum feels that solid root. And we can start to then take the rest of the spine growing out of the sacrum, over the body. Now, if you're like, I can't get that far, Jay, that's fine. Be where you are. Hands to the knees. And I want you to just send your heart out. It's almost like you're pulling a shopping cart back towards you. Send the heart out and then round. So you can be over there. If elbows can come to the front, to the floor, great. And then you're going to pull those elbows back into those knees, right beneath the knee joint. Then I want you to pull them back towards you. And then exhale, fold. And again. Okay. Yeah, it's the lighting, I think, actually, Renee, on that Facebook. But YouTube, I'm clear. So if you want to come to YouTube, super clear. I'm right here on the earth with you. All right. So we're going to just pull forward with the heart, pull the elbows back, and then exhale, sink over the body. Inhale, pull the elbows back, lift the heart. Exhale, sink over the body. As you exhale, avoid the belly going really soft down there into the well of your thighs. Again, the exhale, the flexing of the spine, we gently draw the abdominals up towards our sternum. And then I want you to stay at the bottom for a moment. Now here's where a block might be handy. If you need to place your head on something, it's fine because it helps the sits bones relax and open. It helps the body unclench. If the weight of your head is hanging, the body will try to protect. So let the head come to a block. Let the body relax. Easier said than done, I know. But feel as if the arms by your side, the block at your head, the internal gaze of your face towards the belly of your body, let it be almost like a turtle's shell. And I want you to breathe here for 3 breaths. Nice and deep. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, sit up all the way. Good. And now we're going to switch this. So the leg that was on the lead is now going to be the leg behind. Here you might need to rearrange your bones a little bit. You might find that it's odd to get the ankles to line up with the knees. So take a moment. And then from here, again, we're going to walk ourselves out. So it's as if I'm sending my heart forward. You're going to feel my tailbone is getting light on the earth. Like I'm almost stretching it out behind me. Perhaps you need to stay connected to your knees. Okay, and then you can just fold and curl. If you can walk it out and get those forearms to the floor, lovely. And here again, I'm pulling the elbows back into just underneath my kneecaps. I'm going to inhale, lift, and really feel like I'm trying to stretch the pear shape of the piriformis, and then exhale, round the body. Inhale, stretching the shape, lifting the heart, pulling back into those knees to facilitate the stretch. Exhale, fold. Inhale again, lifting up. And then exhale, fold. Now, we're going to go back into that turtle shell. So feet are still under knees. We're folded over the body. Take the block. Place it. Even if you get really low, unless your head can solidly place itself full weight on the floor, take the block. Place it under the head. Keep the elbows in tight. Create your little mental turtle shell. 3 deep breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feeling the hips open and breathe. Inhale, lift the head out of the shell. Exhale, stack all the way up. Beautiful. So now that we've got that piriformis starting to relinquish its weight, go ahead and give yourself a few rolls here. Like just organically, I tend to always go there in my own practice and then roll the other way. And just feel how in that simple motion, this is something you could be doing while you're watching Netflix for hours or whatnot, playing on the floor with kids, doing a puzzle, whatever it is that you're doing right now to entertain yourself, you can always add in little juicy movements like that. Maybe the pun was intended for juicy. Now, everyone's favorite part. Please bear with me on this. It's not going to feel like the most comfortable thing in the world. I promise you're going to love it though when we're done. So in this class, we're talking about the sacred sacrum, but this class has been focused on, whether you were aware of it or not, everything was designed to really help open and close the pelvic floor. So that mula bandha, the root of the pelvic floor being there, very strongly connected to the sacrum, is what we were working on today. We're going to get that pelvic floor now that we've got the legs warm, now that we've got the hips warm, we're going to get into massaging the pelvic floor and opening up any tension. The pelvic floor tends to hold all of our subconscious tension, especially. And in a time where all of us are a little tense for one reason or another in the world collectively, it's a great thing to put into your practice. So I'm going to be nice. Traditionally, we do this with the left heel into the perineum, like so. And then you cross the other leg over. And it looks like this. If you cannot get into that shape, I'm going to show you another way. Okay, but this is traditionally how we would do this. Putting the heel right behind the genitals, in front of the sphincter, the tip of the tailbone, and then you would bring the other leg up and over, knees match. And this is where you would be. And it is traditionally the left heel. If this is not for you, because we're going to be here for a series of breaths, a few minutes, then I'm going to ask you to use the ball and the towel, okay? Stick with me. Trust me on this, you guys. All right, so if you're not going to stay there, take the ball, a soup can turned lengthwise so that the ends would be at the front and back of the hips. The length, the roundness of the can would be under your pelvic floor. A foam roller would also work here. You would straddle the foam roller and sit on it, would also work if you don't have a ball handy, okay? So the ball, I've quartered the towel, okay? So you want to kind of make it like a quarter, thicker. You don't want it to be really flat and open. So you kind of create it like a little meditation cushion and then set that over the ball. And there's your nest. Now, you're going to sit on the ball. And when I say sit on the ball, I mean, please, to find that thick cord. It'll be about the size of a coin, but it's a thick cord. You'll know when you get it. It'll be behind the genitals for both male and female. And it will be in front of the sphincter or the tailbone. So between the two places, you're going to feel a thick cord. And that thick cord runs to the sits bones. So we're creating like this rainbow from sits bone to sits bone through the heart of the perineum. And I want you to sit as relaxed as possible. Maybe smile a little bit, relax your eyebrows, let the tension go, let the hands relax. We are going to do a specific breath. So we are going to do a prana work here, pranayama. So I want you to think of the microcosmic orbit. You're like, I have no idea what that is. I want you to think of the inhale will actually come through the face, down behind the heart, behind the belly button, into the pelvic floor. And then your exhale will draw up, out of the tailbone, up the spine, up the back of the head, and just hang out here in space above your head. Your inhale down through the forehead, behind the nose, behind the throat and heart. We're still breathing in very deeply, like an incense smoke, right? Smooth, subtle, relaxed. There will be a slight pause at the bottom. And as you exhale, feel that travel up the tailbone, up the spine, up the top of the head, like that smoke curling towards the sun. Inhale, bring it back down and through. And then exhale, following back up the spine, letting it come out of the top of your head. We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to add the pelvic floor release. There's a specific motion that we add at a specific time. As you exhale, it comes up the tailbone, through the sacrum, up the heart of the spine, out of the back of the throat and head, through the top of the head. Now we're going to add a bigger pause at the bottom of that orbit. As you inhale, draw it down through the sinuses, behind the throat, behind the heart, behind the belly button, behind the pubic bone, into the heart of the pelvic floor. Now we're going to stay here with our exhale. Don't let it travel back up. Stay here and exhale all the way, all the way, all the way until you're out of air. Hold there. Now, where the ball is, lift 7 pulses. Up, 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 up. 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, back down through the front circuit of the body. Exhale all the way. Hold. Now 7 little pumps. Inhale. Bringing in that swirl of air. Exhale. All the way. Empty, empty, empty. And there at the emptiest, we pause. Lift that tight knot up away from the ball. Inhale the swirl. And again, exhale all the way. Creating that vacuum, the empty stillness, which is very active in and of itself. Pause, 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 pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the front. Into the depths of the waist, into the hips. Exhale. And we pump. Inhale. Let the exhale pause at the bottom, and now let it travel right back up the spine, right back into that microcosmic orbit, right back up to the top of the head. Inhale through the nose, through the throat, through the heart, the belly, into the waist, into the expanse of the pelvic floor. Let it pause there. Exhale. Let it hug the spine as it travels back up through the body, through the top of the head. One more time here. Inhale. And exhale up the spine. Let one hand rest to the earth. Bring yourself to rock off of the ball and go ahead and remove your nest. Settling in nice and steady onto both hip bones. Take one beautiful deep breath in here. And let it go. Nicely done. So from here, we're going to take the ball, place it to the side. Keep your towel handy, but we don't need it yet. In fact, I forgot. We got one more thing to do with the ball. But trust me, this one is going to be much kinder to you. So you're going to join me on the floor. Have your ball handy. Keep your block kind of handy if you need it for Shavasana in just a moment. And I'm actually going to angle myself off of my mat because I have a Jade yoga mat. I love them because they're super grippy. You do not move. But for this next exercise, I need to be able to move my leg. So if you have a hardwood floor, if you have your sock on or something, or you can take your towel and kind of, roll your foot on the towel. You need to be able to slide, really. You can use your soup can. You can even use the end of your foam roller, like put the length of it off to the side. But ideally, you just would have like a ball. If you have carpet, you can use like a paper plate to slide. Okay, so I'm going to come here to the end of my mat and let my body angle off the side because I need to be able to move, and I can't do that on my mat. So I'm going to place my heel on the ball, like so. And if you start to push and pull with your foot a lot and really try to activate through your knee and make your knee do the next part of this work, you're going to constantly lose your ball. But if you bring your hands to your front hip bones and bring your attention there to the sacrum being equally balanced on either side, and both of your gluteal cheeks being equally balanced, and those hip bones being balanced, I want you to really start to think of the energy of your leg. I'm going to lengthen my leg out and put that heel right on top of the ball. And I'm going to stay heavy in both hips. Now, from the energy where my leg bone kisses into my hip bone, I'm going to externally rotate my knee out towards the side. You're going to feel that little bit of a clinch deep into the hip pocket. And I'm going to pull that leg up into the tree shape. And I'm going to lengthen my leg right back out to that parallel, both kneecaps facing the earth, the ceiling. And then rotate the leg as I pull the foot up towards the knee, towards the inner thigh, and find that tree shape here on the floor. And then again. So whatever you have at your foot is just to facilitate this rolling action. The foot's not doing the pulling and pushing. It is very much, in fact, your hip creating this space. And you don't need anything at all underneath of your foot. If you can glide it easily, please just do that. But if you find that you're kind of like whoop, 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 skidding across the floor, you want to try something under your foot because we want a smooth glide. And then we're going to do this just 2 more times. Just let your breath start to find its natural flow. Let it be wherever it wants at the moment. As long as it's moving nice and steady and deeply and fluidly, it's good. And then from here, we're going to add to this. So with that ball on the back of the heel, I'm going to roll it kind of towards the pinky edge as I take that tree shape. And about here is where I catch my big toe only on the ball. And I'm going to pull my leg up and over into internal rotation. Now both hips stay down. And I'm going to then slice that leg back out. It kind of goes through the arch of my foot there with the ball. And then here again, I'm going to roll up to the outside. Knee goes out. At the top, I'm going to pivot my knee up and over. And then in that internal rotation, lengthen my leg out. 3 more times here. And 2. Like you're making a beautiful circle. If you've been doing Pilates mat with me, you'll know that this is very similar to our leg circle prep. I'd like you to switch legs now. So let's go to the other side. And then from here, again, we externally rotate the legs. The knee goes out towards the side, bending the knee, drawing that foot up so that we get that tree shape here on the floor. Lengthen the leg and pull it up with your breath. Let the piston of the leg motion match the breath flow. And again, it matters not to me if the inhale's on the way up or the way down. Let your breath choose. And then we're going to add to that. So here at the top of your next tree, pivot that leg up and over and around. Now notice here if this leg is reacting differently. That's the point of this particular flow. Connecting the yoga of the mind and body, the yoke of paying attention to where any tension resides, or if there's hyperlaxicity where strength may need to come in. Notice if your back is arching differently or your ribs are pulling slightly off with one side versus the other. It's all connected. As we continue to spiral this leg 1 more time, taking it down and through, pulling it up, spiraling it over, and lengthening again. Now let the ball be wherever it is. Kick it off to the side. You're not going to need it any longer. Then you're going to meet me here for a moment in Supta Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet touch, the footprint to footprint here. And your knees can be nice and wide. For some of you, this may not feel amazing. Your hips may not open wide. You might be clenched here. If that's the case, take your fist, roll your hip up slightly, take your fist, sit it there into the heart of your cheek there, right to the outside edge of your sits bone. And then again on the other side. So you basically are creating your own vice, much like we talked about when we were standing in tree and I said, draw in the vice of your hips. So you're creating a little vice here by placing your fist into the cheeks right outside of your sits bones. And now that will help bring some relief of tension. And that's if you're super tight through the thighs. I have the opposite problem. I've always been hypermobile. It's not a great thing. It creates stress on connective tissue because the connective tissue wants to go further than what maybe your strength allows. So for me, and if you're like me, my knees go wide open. So we're going to do a different exercise. So if you're tight and your knees don't want to open, I want you to stay here with your vice. And I want you to try to get those inner thighs to open more and more with each breath. If you're hypermobile and your knees just flop out there, we're going to go into a different flow. So keeping the palms or the arches of the feet touching, right? Footprint to footprint. You're then going to press so much footprint into footprint, you're going to feel energy charge into the inner thighs, and you're going to start to feel light in your sacrum. And continue that press until you can potentially even lift your sacrum off the floor. Hold there for a breath in and out, and then gently roll your spine down until your sacrum touches the earth once again, and then let the body relax. Breathe in, and then exhale, pressing into the soles of the feet, that you start to become light in the hip and can lift the sacrum off the floor. So we're drawing in the power here. For those who are hypermobile, we need strength to nurture these connective tissues. And then rolling back down, unclenching all the power, letting it flow back into a natural, relaxed state. One more time. Pressing into the soles of the feet. Now, if you're one of those who need the stretch, you're still viced, you're still holding strong, and letting those inner thighs open more and more. And then rolling back down, one vertebrae at a time. Relaxing fully at the bottom, letting the body completely let go. Now from here, we're going to transition to our Shavasana. We're closing up shop here for the moment. I would encourage you today, because it goes with the flow of what we're practicing today for the sacrum stability, is to go legs up the wall. So to do that, and also bring your towel. Okay, you don't need your block actually for Shavasana today, but bring your towel. So roll to your side, gently push yourself up, make your way to your wall. If you don't have a wall handy, just do Shavasana on the floor. It's fine. You can even do Supta Baddha Konasana, keeping those knees open if it feels good. But if you have a wall handy, the best way to get up there, so you're not doing a weird abdominal straining push into the wall, is to just sit right beside the wall. So my hip is touching the wall. And now I'm going to lie down on my side. And as I do, I'm going to push my tush to the wall a little bit more. So now I end up with both sits bones on the wall. Now have your towel handy. And now with both sits bones on the wall, I'm going to just fly my legs up the wall. And then place the towel over your belly. And with the legs up the wall, you're going to let your hands relax by your sides. Now the towel is here. You can drape it however it feels comfy. But the towel is here to give your brain, your mind, a reassurance, because in our bipedal human form, our bellies feel very exposed in Shavasana. When we can cover them, it allows our subconscious, if you will, to relax, to turn off the fight and flight response. You have options with your legs today. You can stay with your legs straight up the wall. Please avoid forcing them straight. Let your heels touch and get heavy, and you might find that there's a slight buoyancy or bend in your knee. That is fine. That's preferred. Let your legs be relaxed. If for your back and your legs, you would prefer to come into a Baddha Konasana version of this, you would just put your pinky edge on the wall and the other pinky edge on the wall, bringing the soles of your feet together to touch, letting your knees open wide, and then let your body relax. So if that means your feet come really close to you and your knees open wide, that is also fine. Pick where you would like to be for the next several minutes. Allow your eyes to drift closed. Allow your mind to come back into the full focus of your breath. Perhaps you follow that orbit once again of The inhale moving through the front of the body, and the exhale finding it wave through the back of the body, up and out of the head. Perhaps you let even that amount of mental tension go, and you allow your focus to be on the bones giving up their weight to the earth, letting those heels be heavy in the wall, letting the legs give up their tension, feeling that sacrum become a strong root, firmly planted in the earth. Allowing then the waist to relax and to expand and fully digest the breath. And as that softening occurs deep in the belly, notice how the shoulders can relax. The arms grow heavy, yet the palms feel light as the fingers naturally curl. And following that river of heavy relaxation up the arms, back into the shoulders, feel the neck deepen. Surrender the weight of the head. Feel even the hairline and the brow line melt away. Flex the feet or circle out the ankles. And start to find that circling of the ankles, moving into a slight bend and extension of the knees, almost like you're gently pedaling. Start to slide the feet down the wall if they're not already there. And find yourself rolling onto your left side, removing the towel from your space. Take a deep breath in here on your side. And then allow your hand to gently push you upright to a seated position. And then coming back into a plain space. You can just sit right where you are. Wherever you are, just be there. And then take a deep breath in as you settle your spine back over the root of the sacrum. Staying with the calm within your body. Allow the eyes to close. We are going to take 3 breaths here. On your first slow inhale, set an intention of compassion for yourself. As you exhale, allow that seed to burrow deep into the belly, nestling in. As you inhale slowly, this time set an intention of compassion or kindness for your family and friends, perhaps strength or courage. As you exhale, send that intention forth. And on our final inhale here together today in this practice, nice, slow, and deep, set an intention for the world beyond our immediate reach. As you exhale, send that forward. Inhaling here, bring the arms up overhead. Maybe you look up at your hands. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the palms down to heart center. Let your gaze follow your hands. Plant the hands in to the heart center. Inhale, feel the waist expand. Feel the pelvic floor. Take in the breath. Exhale, sigh it away. May this day find you full of shanti, peace, towards yourself, towards the world around you, and may you radiate sukha, joy. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, folks. Tomorrow we have the day off. If you would like to join me on Monday, it will be with Pilates mat. And if you're going to join me on Tuesday, it's yoga. We'll be doing part 2 of this class. So out of the stability of the sacrum and into the watery mobility of the sacrum. So that's Tuesday at 8:30. Thursday will be Pilates again. Friday bar. Next Saturday we'll be here again at 9:45. But at that point, we're probably going to be more up into the solar plexus. So expect an energetic class that day, belly fire. All right. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. You're welcome, Emily. You're welcome, Renee. I miss you. I will see you live in person on a Saturday very soon. Until then, everyone, have a beautiful day. Again, any questions you might have, jot them down, put them in the comments. I would love to hear what you, Miss Kimberly. Oh my God, I love you so much. Oh my God, like so happy to practice with you, even from a distance. Hello from Baltimore. So bye guys. Have a wonderful day. I love you too. Bye.